कैसे करना है, उसका ओरिएंटेशन चेंज करना है।
वो थोड़ा सा ना ये सही नहीं आ रहा।
ठीक है ठीक है।
Everyone, सब लोग बोलिए हरे कृष्णा Hare Hare
Hare Krishna. Now we are going to have a recitation from the kids of lab school, and we are doing Narsimha Caturdasi. Alright, big Hari Bol. Thank you.
Hare Krishna everyone, we are in Sri Prahlad school and today we are reciting Sri Narsimha Kavach mantra. Hare Krishna. Narsimha Kavacham Vakshe Prahlade Noditam Pura Sarvaraksha Punyam Sarvapadrapanashanam Sarvasampatkaram Cheva Sarvamoksham Pradayakam Dvatva Narsimham Devasham Heman Simsan Sityam Vivritasya Trinayanam Shardindu Sama Prabhayam Lakshmaya Lingita Vamangam Vibhuti Bhir Upashitam Chaturbhujam Kumalangam Sarva Kundala Shobhitam Saroja Shobhito Raksham Ratannakeyura Mudritam Taptakancha Shankasham Pita Nirmala Vasasam Indradi Suramostati Spruhan Manikya Diptibhi Virajita Padadondam Shanka Chakradihetavi Garot Mata Chavinayat Stuyamanam Mudanvitam Swahet Kamla Sambhasam Kritvatu Kavacham Padet Narsimho Nashirapatu Lokaraksha Sambhava Sarvago Istambhavasa Palame Rakshatu Dvanim Narsimho Dashapatu Somasayagni Lochana Smritam में पतु नरहरि मुनि वर्यास्तु दीव्या नसम में समनासस्तु मुखम लक्ष्मी मुखाप्रिया सर्व विद्यो दपापातु नरसिंहो रसनम मम वक्त्रम वद्व इंद्रनवदनम सदा क्वालादवंदिता नरसिंहा पातु मे कंठम स्कंधो भूवरनान्तकृत दिव्यास्त्र शोभिता भुजो नरसिंह पातु मे भुजो करो मे देव वरदो नरसिंह पातु सर्वतः हृदयं योगी साध्यश्च निवासं पातु मे हरि मान्द्यं पातु हिरण्याक्ष वक्षा कुक्षिवितारणः नभिं मे पातु नरहरि स्वानभि ब्रह्म संस्तुत ब्रह्मांगकोटया कत्यं यस्य सो पातु मे कत्तिं खुय्यं मे पातु खुय्यानां मन्त्राणां खुय्यरूपदृक् उरुमनोभव पातु जननी नररूपदृक् चङ्की पातु तर्वपरा हरत्यो सौ नरकेश्वरी सौररजया पदा पातु पादो मे नरहरीश्वर सहस्र शीर्ष पुरुष पातु मे सर्वसंस्तुत मनोग्रह पूर्वता पातु महावीराग्रजो गृणीत महाविष्णु दक्षिणे तु महाज्वालास्तु नारिता पश्चिमे पातु सर्वेषु दिशि मे सर्वतोमुख नरसिंह पातु व्यायायं सौम्यनं भूषण विग्रह ईशान पातु बाढो मे सर्वमंगलदायक संसार बायता पातु मृत्युर्मृत्युर्न केसरी इदं नरसिंह कवचं प्रह्लाद मुखमण्डितं भक्तिमान्य पते नित्यं सर्वपाप्य प्रमुच्यते पुत्रबन्धनवनलोके दुर्गाय उपजायते यं यं कामते कामं तं तं पापनोति संशयं सर्वत्र जयमप्नोति सर्वत्र विजय भवेत् भूम्यान्तरिक्षा दिव्यानां गहनां विनिवालनं वृष्टिककोरगसम्भूता विषपहवनं परं परमवाक्षास्याशानं दुर्दक्षिणालकार भोजे वाताय पत्वैव कवचमुखितं शुभं करमूले द्वितीयमेन सिद्ध्यः कर्म सिद्ध्यः
देवासुरमनुष्येषु स्वं स्वम् एव जयं लभेत् एकसन्ध्यं त्रिसन्ध्यं वा यापते नियतो नरः सुमङ्गलमङ्गल्यं मुक्तिं च विन्दति द्वात्रिंशतिसहस्राणि पते शुद्धात्मनं निर्भिः कवचस्य समन्त्रस्य मन्त्रसिद्धिः प्रजायते अनेन मन्त्रराजेन कृत्वभस्माभिमन्त्रणं तिलकं बिभ्र्यद्यस्तु तस्य ग्रहभयं हरेत् त्रिवरं जापमनस्तु दत्तं वार्याभिमन्त्र्य च प्रसायेद्यो नरो मन्त्रं नरसिंहध्यानमाचरेत् तस्य रोगः प्रणश्यन्ति ये च स्युकुक्षिसम्भवा किमात्र बाहुनोक्तेन नरसिंहः सादृशो भवेत् मनसा चिन्तितं यातु सता चाप्नोति संशयं गर्जन्तं गर्जयन्तं निजभुजपतलं स्फोटयन्तं हतन्तं दीप्यन्तं तापयन्तं दिलिभुवि दिशितं क्षेपयन्तं क्षिपन्तं क्रन्दन्तं रोषयन्तं दिशि दिशुतं संहरन्तं भरन्तं वीक्षन्तं पूर्णयन्तं करनिकरशेखरदिव्यसीमं नमामि इति श्रीब्रह्माण्डपुराणे प्रह्लादप्रोक्तं श्रीनरसिंहकवचं सम्पूर्णम् हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Thank you very much, Parla School teachers and the parents. Can we chant Hare Krishna for the kids? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, kids. Now I would like to invite Ghanshyam Govind Prabhuji to give the gifts to Parla School kids. Hare Krishna. First Nimai. Adi there. Riva. Okay. Mehul. Agastya. Kavya. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. If you would like to contact Radha Priya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We are very blessed to have Ghanshyam Prabhuji today. He is our guest speaker today. Everybody knows about Ghanshyam Prabhuji, but I will just introduce him. Prabhuji has been servicing the ISKCON Yatra and also the Mandir for the last 20 years. Now, before being the full-time monk, Prabhuji was a software engineer and a business analyst and has worked for many industries in and around Sydney. Prabhuji is well versed with all the literatures of Bhakti, especially Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and other Prabhupada books. Prabhuji has been basically giving classes, especially the Bhakti level, Bhakti Shastri, and also he has been a mentor for youth in and around Sydney for all the Krishna conscious youth. Despite being giving all the full-time service, Prabhuji is very approachable. Prabhuji basically goes and talks to everybody. Even during this program, you'll see Prabhuji has this thing. Prabhuji gives very good classes. One thing which I personally like about Prabhuji's classes is Prabhuji gives very high level information and knowledge in a very lucid and simple language. That makes it more interesting. And also the language used is fantastic. The examples used are very much which we can basically get into our life. Now Prabhuji is I can basically go on and continue, but I know you are basically waiting to hear from him. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Narsimha Prabhuji. Prabhuji, please you can start the class. Thank you very much. Can I have a big chant for Prabhuji to welcome him? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you all for coming and participating in this beautiful event. Let's start with a prayer to our spiritual master. He said that to make any progress in our spiritual life, we need the grace of the Guru. Srila Prabhupada was once walking in early morning along with his disciples, and Prabhupada asked two of his lady disciples, how do they usually carry their baby? We have quite a few babies here. And Prabhupada said, do you carry them in monkey style or cat style? And Prabhupada explained, monkeys, the way how they carry babies is the mother monkey jumps from one branch to the other, but the baby monkey has to make an effort to catch hold. How many of you have seen a baby monkey? So next time, if you get an opportunity again, observe. The baby monkey always has to hold on to the mother monkey on its own strength. Sometimes you will see when the mother monkey jumps from one branch to the other, baby monkey can't hold and it will fall also. On the other hand, if you see how a mother cat carries its kitten or a lion carries its cub, you'd see the mother cat carries the baby holding by its neck with its mouth, and the baby cat or the kitten, you can see it doesn't do any work. It will be happily dangling. How many of you have seen? Prabhupada says in spiritual life, we follow cat style. We do our effort, little bit only. Most of the effect or most of the effort is actually done by the grace of the Guru. So in everything, always worship of Guru is given prominence. Can I ask all of you to please sit straight? Close your eyes, hold your palms together. If you know these prayers, you can chant with me. Otherwise, just hear them attentively. You will get the same benefit simply by hearing it, as much as I do by chanting. Om Adhyana Timirandasya Yananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilikam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. You can open your eyes. Hare Krishna. Today we are celebrating Narsimha Caturdasi. You might have come across this famous term, Dashavatara. How many of you have heard about Dashavatara? Okay? I need some help here. Can you please mention any of the avatars that you have come across in that Dashavatara stotra? Start. Matsya. Next. Okay. Continue. Yeah. Narsimha. Okay. We are making a jump. Okay. Varaha. Yes. Vamana. Parashuram. Ram. Krishna. Balaram. Buddha. One and only. Next. Final one. Kalki. Well done. You can give all of yourselves a good round of applause. So Dasavatar, even though normally we say Dasavatar, actually Krishna takes unlimited avatar. It is given in the scriptures that two things we should not bother counting. I mentioned about this point I think late last year. In Kali Yuga especially. One is how many faults or how many mistakes we make, one should not bother counting. Kaler dosha niderajan. Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. We do a lot of mistakes. So scriptures say don't bother counting how many mistakes you make because there are unlimited, especially if you are born in Kali Yuga. How many of you think you are born in Kali Yuga? Okay, those of you who didn't put the hand up, I would like to hear your opinion. So this is Kali Yuga. Okay, let's go to the basics. How many yugas are there? Yeah, please see it at least. Okay, what are they? Satya Yuga. Treta Yuga. Somebody keeps jumping. Dwapara straight away. Okay. Third Dwapara. Fourth is? Welcome to Kali Yuga. So, Krishna appears in every Yuga. In Kali Yuga, Krishna appears in the form of his holy name, in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Krishna as such takes unlimited avatars. As I said, one thing that scriptures say, don't bother counting is how many mistakes you make. And second is how many avatars Supreme Lord takes. Avatara hi asankhya. Hare sattva nidedvijam yata vidasena tulya sarasasya sarasrasa. It's given. Sankhya means to count. Asankhya means incountable, uncountable, immeasurable. That's what it means. Avatara hi asankhya means you can never count how many avatars Krishna takes. Nevertheless, we still go by the Dashavatara Stotra because if you have to sit and count unlimited ones, you have to stay here for the rest of your life. Still you won't be able to count. So Narsimha Dev is one of the Dasavataras. Narsimha Dev came for a very specific purpose. Whenever Krishna comes, in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, whenever he comes down to this world, he does three things. Yada yada hi dharmasya Klanit Bhavati Bharata. You will see the Yadavas also. Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya charishkritam, dharma samsthapanarthaya. Three things he says. When he comes, he kills the bad people, protects the good people, and then he re-establishes the principle of religion. Three things only. Any avatar you take, they do only these three. You take Lord Ram. Did Lord Ram kill anyone? Okay, give me the names of some of the most famous demons. Okay, anything more? Okay, Maricha. Yes, Kara, Dushana. You will come across. Tataka. So many of them. So he killed. Did he save anyone? Yes, who did he save? Yes, devotees. Mother Sita he went. He protected the monkeys. So many. Did he re-establish the religion? Religion of Dharma. How? Through his instructions, through his Siksha. Plus he also re-established Vibhishan as the king of Lanka. Likewise you can go by the same principle trying to analyze every avatar. You take Krishna, did he kill anyone? Yeah, many. Krishna killed many. In Vrindavan when Krishna was there, after every meal he'll kill demons. After morning breakfast he'll kill a demon. After lunch he'll kill a demon. Night time he'll kill a demon again. Like that, Krishna was there for 12 years. Can you imagine how many demons Krishna must have killed? How many demoniac soldiers Krishna had killed? So many of them. In Kurukshetra, we normally talk about 18 Akshoni soldiers. Prabhupada writes in Mahabharata, quoting Mahabharata, take a guess how many soldiers participated in Kurukshetra war. It's not in hundreds. Hint, not in thousands. Okay, how many? Okay, 12, I like that. We are getting somewhere. Yes? 50 million, okay, more? Anyone? Who said that? What? How much, Prabhu? 300, okay. Just double that. And even more of that. 640 million. 64 crores. That's how many soldiers that got killed. Krishna killed all of them without touching a weapon. Krishna killed many crores while he was building the weapon. So when Krishna comes, Krishna also kills. Did Krishna protect people? Yes, he did. Many instances he protected. Did Krishna re-establish the principle of religion or dharma? Yes, by establishing Yudhishthira Maharaj as the king of the whole world. So you can see, same way, with any avatar. Narsimha Dev, when he came, he also did the same activities. Narsimha Dev, in order to understand about him, let's take a step back to understand about Varaha Dev. But to understand about Varaha Dev, let's take a step even more back. Let's go to Vaikuntha all the way. So in Vaikuntha, which is spiritual world, it is guarded by different gates. Have you seen in some movies, when they show spiritual world, one door opens, toing, toing, toing. How many of you have seen that? In some cartoons, you might see. So if you go to Vaikuntha, there is different levels of sentry. So you have to gain entry to the first one and then you go, after they give permission, you can then enter the second door, third door, like that. So there is intimate servants or bodyguards of Lord Vishnu by name Jai and Vijay. You go to any Vishnu temple, just outside of the Garbhagriha, you will see two personalities holding Gata. How many of you have seen in any temple, any Vishnu temple? That's Jai and Vijay. If you are wondering who they are. Okay, they are two doorkeepers in Vaikuntha, very intimate servants of Vishnu. There are many Leela, they assist Vishnu. So once there were 4 yogis by name Kumara, Chatush Kumara it's given, they made their way to the spiritual world based on their own tapopal, their own strength of austerity. And after going there, they wanted to go in, but Jai and Vijay stopped them, telling them, you can't go because you look like kids, because they both were like very young, small kids, 5-year-old kids. And they wanted to gain entry and they stopped them. So when these two doorkeepers stopped, the 4 Kumaras, they get moved by that. They get upset and they curse. You don't know, we have come here all the way. You are still in duality. You are still saying what is good and what is bad. In spiritual world, you shouldn't be saying. But if you think about it, even they were thinking like that, correct? You are good and bad. But anyway, so they pronounce the curse that you both will glide down. Because you behave like the humans, you will be born in the material world. So at that time, Jai and Vijay were given 2 options. Either they can be born as devotees for 7 births. 7 Janma, they have to be born as Vaishnavas and then they can come back. Or they can take birth only 3 times but as demons. If you are in that position, what choice will you make? 3 births as demons or 7 births as devotees? Okay, how many of you would choose demons? Okay, I see 3 people. How many of you will choose to be devotees? How many of you are undecided? So they chose after much deliberation because they don't want to be separated from Vishnu and Lakshmi ji. So they thought, let us go finish the business soon and come back. We don't mind being demons, we don't mind being killed by the Lord. Thinking this way, they chose the first option, that they would be born as demons in 3 births. And every single time they would perform the Leela of the Supreme Lord, and every single time they will get killed by the Supreme Lord also. So first time Jai and Vijay, they appeared as who? Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And they were killed by Narsimha Dev. Again they are born again as Ravana and Kumbhakarna, killed by Lord Ram. When Krishna came, they were born again as Dandavakra and Shishupal. So they got killed 3 times. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, they appeared again as Jagai and Mother. Just bonus. So after being killed, they are reinstated back. So when they were born, Hiranyaksha, he was a very big warrior, so much so that he was just wielding his gata and he was walking and challenging all the kings of this universe. And if you don't want to fight with them, then you have to surrender to him. So as he was going all around like that, he thought, let me play with this earth as a volleyball. So what he did was he just pushed it out of its orbit and dunked it under the Garbhodaka ocean. So if you take the whole universe, where we are, this is known as Bhuloka. Bhuloka is one of the planet only. This Bhuloka is contained within a whole universe. The diameter of the universe is 4 billion miles. If you read the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, you will understand the dimensions. It gives a lot of interesting information about Vedic cosmology. Bhagavata Purana, 5th canto. You can get that. We have a set of Bhagavatam there. If any of you are interested, you can get one. So it gives a lot of details. So this whole universe is 4 billion miles wide. Half of it is filled with water, which means it's uninhabitable. Only the remaining half of this universe is habitable. In that remaining half, there are 14 planetary systems. And we are in Bhuloka, Bhumandala. Above us there is this Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Mahar Janas Tapasatya. Bhuva Swarga, Mahar Janas Tapasati Loka. Sati Loka is where Lord Brahma lives. Likewise, below us there is 7 planetary system. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, Patala, 7. Hellish kingdom comes even below that. Hellish planets are not counted as 14 planetary systems. Understand? So what Hiranyaksha did, because of his potency, power, he could go anywhere. Narada Muni can go anywhere. Likewise, Hiranyaksha also can go anywhere. So what he did, even though his original habitation is in the lower planetary system, he just walked up in the space, pushed the planet Earth into the Garbhodaka ocean. So Earth was within the water. So you can only imagine what would have happened to all the living entities. That's how sadistic he was. So he just went unchallenged. At that time, Supreme Lord came as Varahadev. As Varahadev, in the form of a boar, he then fought with Hiranyaksha and finally he killed him simply by slapping. If you read the description, it's given in Bhagavata Purana. Initially, he lets him to play just for fun. He lets Hiranyaksha to fight with him. And at one point, without using any weapon, Varahadev just slaps him to death. One slap, this guy is gone. So, in this way, Hiranyaksha was killed. When Hiranyaksha was killed, at that time, his brother, younger brother, Hiranyakashipu, he got very, very angry. He wanted to seek vengeance against Vishnu. So he was waiting for this opportunity. Now, in order to gain power, what Hiranyakashipu did was, he went to the forest to do tapasya. In those days, even demons know about religion. They know if they want to gain some power, they have to still do tapasya. Even demons were doing. You see Ravana doing, Kumbhakarna doing, you see Hiranyaksha doing, Hiranyakashipu also doing. Any demon you take in Vedic times, they will do tapasya. Even they know it. If I have to gain power, then I have to propagate before the Supreme Lord, before the Devatas, and then please Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, one of them, Brahma, and get some boon, get some benediction that way. Okay, so in this way, he went all the way to the forest, did tapasya. He finally pleased Brahma. Now, in order to come to that position, he stopped eating, stopped breathing, stopped doing any activity, simply doing, chanting the name of Lord Brahma, praying to him. And as he was praying, he completely lost in contact with the outside world, so much so that he lost all his skin, all his flesh, all that was left of him was just Esprode.
When Vishnu takes breathe in, the word this thing creates.
We'll come to that at the end. So Hiranyakashipu, when he was doing the tapasya, ant hill started to grow. It ate all his flesh. All that was left of him was just piece of bones. His whole skeleton was there, nothing else. He was simply barely breathing and maintaining his body like that. Finally, Lord Brahma came down and he told him to stop his tapasya because he was actually burning everyone simply with the power of his tapasya. So at that point, Lord Brahma comes. He has a kamandalu, he sprinkles water. He carries kamandalu with Mother Ganga's water. He sprinkles and then Hiranyakashipu gets a brand new body. And then Brahma asks him, okay, I am pleased with your tapasya. Please ask what you like. Guess what he asks first? Make me immortal. Brahma says, I myself am not immortal. How can I make you immortal? He says, ask for something else. So he thought for a while. And at that time, he came up with an idea what he thought was the most cunning condition. So he said, I don't want to be killed by devatas nor by demons. I don't want to be killed in daytime or nighttime. I don't want to be killed with any weapon. I don't want to be killed inside or outside, not above, not below, not in heavenly planet, not in Patala, anywhere. So he thought, I've got all these clauses covered. Brahma says, Tatastu, and he goes. So this, if you look at the conditions of Hiranyakashipu, at that point of time, there is no other way how he could have been killed. So he thought, I've got all my back covered and I can just go about doing whatever I like. Thinking this way, he became very puffed up, very arrogant, and he went around on a killing spree, waging war against the demigods, imprisoning them. He imprisoned all Indra, Chandra, Varuna, everyone. So much so that he had all the seasons under his control, weather under his control. He was doing everything based on his will. And at that point, he was blessed with one divine son, which is Prahlad Maharaj. So when Prahlad Maharaj was in the womb of his mother Kayadu, at that time Hiranyakashipu has gone to the forest to do tapasya. However, the demigods, they were thinking already Hiranyaksha came, he caused havoc, so much havoc. Hiranyakashipu is also no better, he is also a demon. So both the demons, we have already seen their effect. If Hiranyakashipu is also going to get one other son, he will also be a worse demon. Thinking this way, they arrest Kayadu because they can't kill a pregnant woman. Instead, they arrested her, taking her to the prison in Swargaloka, thinking as soon as she gives birth, we will kill the baby. Unfortunately, this is what Indra thought. And while they are arresting, taking her all the way, Narada Muni intercepts them. And Narada Muni tells them, what are you doing? First of all, in scriptures it's given, if you read first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it's given 6 personalities shouldn't be punished even if they do mistake. Kids is given as 1, Brahmanas, old people is given, women is given, madmen also is given. When I was reading, I was like, everything is okay, why madmen? Can anyone of you take a guess why Krishna quotes from the scriptures is saying, if a mad person does mistake, the mad person should not be punished? Hand up, anyone? Yes?
Because he might have gotten mad from the mistake.
Okay, he might have gotten mad from the mistake. Anything else? I'll repeat the question again. Yes, Madhuri. Yes, because a madman is not in his senses. Anything else? How many of you think a mad person is having a very good time in life? How many of you are thinking a mad person is already torturing himself or herself mentally? That's why the exception is given. Already they are torturing, what's the point in giving more punishment? Okay, like normally if you say Cupid, Madan, he has a bow and an arrow. So it's said that Manmadan, whenever he wants to bring any attraction between a boy and a girl, he would use that arrow and he would shoot. One day he heard about Krishna and the queens of Dwarka. He thought, I'll bring both Krishna and the queens of Dwarka. How many queens did Krishna have in Dwarka? Louder. 16,108. That's how many queens Krishna had. So he thought, I will go shoot the arrow on Krishna, flower arrow, not killing them. Shoot the arrow, targeting the heart of all the queens, and I will bring them under control. He goes there taking aim. Krishna is already looking at the queens are already looking at Krishna. Nobody is looking at Manmatha. He waited, he thought, forget it, it's not working. So even before even Krishna conquered him, he became jobless. So he dropped it, that's what the Leela says. He dropped both the bow and arrow, getting frustrated and just walked away. Same way for a madman it's given, because they are already tossing themselves, what's the point? Okay, so here, Hiranyakashipu's wife Kayadu, she is not just a woman, she is a pregnant woman. She is actually taking care of second life also within her. In Vedic times it's given, if a pregnant woman asks anything, it has to be fulfilled. If you are interested, you can go back and read even from internet about the origin of onion and garlic. Sometimes we get asked this question, why onion and garlic is not allowed? You know, Hare Krishna devotees, how many of you had that question? You can read the origin of onion and garlic, you will understand. A pregnant woman, if they say something, it has to be fulfilled. So here, Kayadu is a pregnant lady carrying Prahlad Maharaj as a baby within her home. But Devatas, because they got unfortunately carried away by the attraction for the power, they arrested her. Narada Muni intercepts and he says, firstly, what you are doing is a very heinous crime. And secondly, he says, the baby she is carrying is not a demon. He is the most powerful devotee. Later on you will see Narada Muni becoming so pleased, and Narada Muni says that in any satsanga there has to be a mention of Prahlad Maharaj. He will be so glorious that whenever there is a satsang, whenever there is Harikatha happening, Prahlad Maharaj's name will be mentioned. That's how powerful and pure Prahlad Maharaj was. So in this case, he says the baby she is carrying is a pure devotee, so spare her. Saying this, Narada Muni takes her to his ashram, protecting her. He makes a kutir for her and she was there taking care. And Narada Muni gives her Bhagavad Siksha from Bhagavata Puran. Even though she is not interested, she is in anxiety, especially you can understand, she is carrying her baby, she is unprotected, she is worried about when her husband is going to come back. But the baby within the womb, which is Prahlad Maharaj, he was hearing everything, all the time. You will see another instance that's given in the Shastras, Abhimanyu, when he was within the womb of Subhadra Maharani, he was also hearing. Okay, Dhanuvidya from Arjuna. That's how he became powerful. Even before he was born, he knew everything. You will come across instances where Shukadeva Goswami also, he entered within the mother's womb. Simply being in the ashram of Vyasadeva, he hears everything and he says, he grows within her body, but he says, I'm not going to be born. Because this world is Maya. Like that. So you will come across many instances. So in this case, Narada Muni goes and protects her. That's why Hiranyakashipu shows respect even to Narada Muni, because he had protected his wife and his child. And time rolls by, Hiranyakashipu comes back, Kayadu also returns back to her palace, gives birth to baby boy, Prahlad Maharaj ki. So he is born. Prahlad Maharaj, he is born in a demoniac family, namesake. But he is already a Mahabhagavat even before he was born, simply by his pure association with Narada Muni. So he had already learned how to worship. So in Vedic times, when a child is actually grown and it is 5 years, they will be taken to the Gurukul. And in Gurukul, they will be taught everything about Vedic knowledge, material knowledge, spiritual knowledge, everything. And then when they cross 25% of their life, at that time they have a choice. Either to continue as Naishtika, Brahmachari. Brahmachari is a term that's given for students. Brahma means spiritual or transcendence. Brahma Acharya, Acharya means behavior. So one whose lifestyle is based on understanding and practicing that science of transcendence is known as Brahmachari. In modern times we say Brahmachari means celibate students. In Vedic times, student means you are a celibate. Otherwise, you are not student. Brahmachari means student. So, first 25% of the life they spend there. After that, some or rather most of the people will go to become grahasthas. Some may remain in the ashram and continue to be a Naishtik Brahmachari. So, there will always be more grahasthas. In Vedic times, if you take 1,000 people, you have 4 varnas. Brahmana, help me here. What are the other 3? Kshatriya, 3rd, Vaishya, 4th, Shudra. So it's given for every 1,000 people, if you take in Vedic times, there will be 1 Brahmana. 9 Kshatriya, 90 Vaishya and 900 Shudra. More IT professionals in those days also. So, for every 1,000 people if you take, there will be 1 Brahmana, 9 Kshatriya, 90 Vaishya, 900 Shudra. 90 businessmen will be there for every 1,000 people you take. 9 army men will be there for every 1,000 people you take. 1 intellectual person will be there for every 1,000 people you take. This is the proportion in Vedic times. Okay, so here he has already learnt everything. When he is 5 years age, then he is being sent to a Gurukula. Gurukula led by Chanda and Amarka, who are working directly under the guidance of Shukracharya. Prahlad Maharaj goes, and in holiday time, summer holidays, he comes back home. At that time, Hiranyakashipu picks him up, places him on his lap, and then he asks, "Oh my dear child, please tell me what have you learned?" Hiranyakashipu's expectation was Chanda and Amarka would have taught him about his own glories, which is Hiranyakashipu's glories. He liked to hear his son speak about him. So he says, "My dear child, please tell me what have you learned?" Guess what Prahlad Maharaj says? He says one should give up everything, go to the forest, and one should worship Vishnu. Of all the things, as soon as he heard the name Vishnu, he threw him down. And he says, send him back to the Gurukul. He didn't learn it properly. He goes, again, Chanda and Amarka trained him in political science, comes back, take 2. Again he picks him up, puts him on his lap, and then he asks him, "So, my dear son, what have you learned?" Again he says, "Matarna Krishna Parata Swatava." One should take shelter of Krishna on their own. Parata, or hearing Siksha from others, one should take shelter of Krishna Swatava, or one should do it on their own. If you don't know anything, you have to quit everything, go to the forest of Vrindavan, and one should learn. This is what Prahlad Maharaj had told his father, can you believe? Again he threw him. He says, call the teachers now, something is wrong with the teachers. After all, he is a 5-year-old kid, what does he know? This is what Hiranyakashipu thought. So he calls them, and then he tells Chanda and Amarka, if you don't train him properly, I will put you in jail. Then Chanda and Amarka tell him, look, we have the same syllabus for everyone. I don't know who has taught it. I don't know from where he learnt all this. Then Prahlad Maharaj reveals, when he goes to his school, not only is Prahlad Maharaj not being trained or not being able to be trained by the demoniac teachers, Chanda and Amarka, even though they were Brahmanas, Prahlad Maharaj started to exert his influence on the other kids, telling them, our life, if we take a whole life, almost 20-30% of our life goes just in sleeping. In a day, if you take 1/3 you sleep, minimum, right? 8 hours you sleep every single day. 30%, 35% of your life is gone. And then he says, a good portion of our life goes in frivolous activities as kids. How many of you have this experience? You know, if you look back in your life, I'm 45, I can remember what I did after coming to Krishna consciousness for last 20 years. Prior to that, I can go until I was 20. What I did in the first 20 years of my life, I remember everything, but I don't remember doing anything useful during that time. How time went, nobody knows. It just goes. You know, how many of you have this experience? You know, semester exam is going to start next day, and then you study in 1 hour so efficiently, and you think, my God, in 1 hour I was able to read it. I'm able to read so much. What did I do the whole semester? I could have finished all this in a week. How many of you have that experience? And then you make the resolution, what? From next semester onwards I will do. And then what happens? One day before the semester exam, next semester also you do the same thing. Time just goes. All the time it goes. So Prahlad Maharaj says, life goes like this in sleep, 35% goes in child frivolous activities, another 35% goes to pursue the career which you want to actually go and embrace. Could be an engineer, could be a doctor, could be an accountant, could be a teacher, could be anything. I remember when I was a child, my uncle was in college at the time. So my aunt would say, if you grow up, study properly, you can become like your uncle, and then he never used to go to college classes. So that was my inspiration. So he would say, when you grow, then you don't need to go to school. You don't need to go to college. For me, that was a very attractive proposal. Then when I came to year 12, at that time they said, now you see, this is the most crucial part of your life. You just go past year 12, then everything will be fine. I said, okay, go past year 12. You land in some reputed college. And now they say, what you did so far in your school days doesn't matter. I was like, what about my uncle? Anyway, doesn't matter. Now what you study matters. So then you study towards the end. In your third year, they were coming for campus interview. At that time, again you were told, you just go land in a job, then the rest of the life is fine. You go land in the job. Guess what happens again? Again you have to climb up the career ladder. And how long? Until you retire. So there is never a time when you think I have actually climbed enough, I have made money enough, I have done or earned enough in my life to take rest now. Even though every one of us who work, the goal of working is so that soon we come to a point when we don't need to work. How many of you are with me in this point? That's what we think. But life never allows us to come to that stage. That's why we should never postpone practicing of bhakti. Material duties will continue, let it continue. We have to do. You continue to do spiritual duties also to an extent that is possible for you. Okay, we are coming here for satsang once a month. We have every week. How many times? 3 times, 2 times? How many classes we have? Online, face to face? 2-3 classes at least. You attend one once a week, you attend one once a fortnight, you can't attend even once a fortnight, at least come to the satsang. Somewhere we have to stay connected so that along with material duties, spiritual duties also can continue. Because material duties at some point will stop. I was once giving a class to youth. We call our youth group, we have about 7 youth groups, we call them Gopinath's youth. I asked them, what is your number one problem? The average age of Gopinath's youth, we have about like 150 kids. The average age is about 20 to 22, that's the age group. I asked them, what is your number one problem in life? They said, we want to finish a degree. I said, okay, after that, when you are 23, 24, what is the number one problem? Getting a good job. After that, family, fine. Let's fast forward your life. What do you think will be your number one problem when you are old? Everyone unanimously said health. There will come a time when bank balance wouldn't matter, when what job, how many of you remember how many marks you scored in year 12? Put your hand up. I'll ask you subject by subject. No, but if you rewind back, right, if you come from India, Nepal, Pakistan, wherever, any of the Asian countries, what were we taught? This is the most crucial thing in the whole life, correct? Even 0.01 marks you lose, you will go from door to one college to door to college, whatever they say. But life teaches us actually it doesn't matter. At that point of time, that's what it matters. Okay, recently I was saying in one engineering college, in one single year, 20 students committed suicide. Because at that point they were convinced education is going to be my number one problem for the rest of my life. Is it true? Absolutely not. So material duties will continue forever. As long as we are around, it will keep on going. Spiritual duty cannot wait. So when we come in front of the Supreme Lord, pray to Narsimha, pray to Krishna, pray to Lord Ram, they are here to remind us about spiritual duties. Material duties, we all will make a way. Nothing is there, somebody will make a way. But spiritual duties, we all need to make an effort. And the best time to make that effort is now. I'll finish with this point. When I came to Sydney first time, 2006, I visited one devotee's home. Normally, you go in a fridge, they usually have a lot of nice magnets, stickers, where to call plumber, so on and so forth. In this particular devotee's home, I saw a nice sticker, magnetic sticker, on the fridge with a photo of Narsimha ripping the body of Hiranyakashipu. And then below that, the caption said, chant Hare Krishna, full stop, the real afterlife insurance. Normally, what we call as insurance is, we pay the premium for what? After we die, we can't enjoy anyway. It is for our dependents, understand? So we are making an arrangement for people who are dependent on us. Fine. What about us? There has to be something. We hope there is some insurance policy where you can deposit some Lakshmi, so somebody will take care of us after we die. But there is no such spiritual insurance policy. Or is there one? There is one. Chant Hare Krishna. When we die, even this body won't come with us. Our mind won't come with us. Intellect won't come with us. When we die, none of our relatives, despite their best intention, they can't come with us. Only thing that will come with us is our spiritual asset. And that spiritual asset is bhakti. How can we increase that spiritual asset? Simply by doing Nam Japa, chanting Hare Krishna every day. Every single time you make a note or you chant, Krishna will make a note. I'll finish with this one story very quickly. Once Janaka Maharaj, who is father of Mother Sita, he goes to meet Yamaraj. Yamaloka is a bad place, but Yamaraj is a pure devotee. Just like if you take a jail, jail is a bad place, but jailer is a good guy, correct? Like that, Yamaraj is a good guy, he's like the jailer. So he goes to meet him, and when he goes to meet him, he sees punishment being given to souls who are very sinful from different planetary systems. They were punishing them differently. Some were punished being dunked in a boiling oil in a boat. Some were actually thrown into fire. Some were given punishment by having their skin ripped, so on and so forth. It's an interesting topic. Probably next time we can talk about the glories of the hellish planets. It's interesting. We need to know. Because every action that we do carries a certain responsibility there, carries a certain karma there. And 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam describes in detail about the different hellish planets. It mentions about them, but tells about what are the different punishments and who are all the fortunate souls who would get those punishments. So when Janaka Maharaj goes, at that time everyone is actually being afflicted with so much pain. But interestingly, as soon as Janaka Maharaj comes in their proximity, suddenly they felt this cool breeze blowing over their body. And as long as Janaka Maharaj was there, even though they were getting whipped, even though they were being punished, they couldn't feel any pain. Now they were feeling very joyful. In fact, just being in the presence of Janaka Maharaj, they were feeling bliss. Now Janaka Maharaj comes, speaks, spends some time with Yamaraj, and as he was leaving, all these souls, they fall at the feet of Janaka Maharaj and they cry. "O king, please do not leave. Simply being in your presence is making us immune to all these punishments." But Janaka Maharaj says, "But I have to go." But then Janaka Maharaj thinks, "What will I do going there? My job as a king is to protect the citizens. These are also like my prajas and they have taken my shelter. As a Kshatriya, I need to do my duty. I'm not going to go." Now Yamaraj is in a fix. Because Yamaraj is having a guest, Atiti Devo Bhava. Okay, Titi means somebody who already booked an appointment. Atiti means somebody who is an uninvited guest. Not just invited guest. Uninvited. That's why it's known as Atiti. One who comes at any time randomly. Such a person is known as Atiti Devo Bhava. They are supposed to be worshipped, respected, served like gods. So now he is Atiti, now Yamaraj is in a fix. He doesn't know what to do. Then he tells to Janaka Maharaj, "You can't stay here because I'm your host. I can't actually hold you. I have my dharma. So can you please make your way?" Janaka Maharaj says, "No, I'm not going because these souls have taken my shelter. I am a king. I can't relinquish my duty here." Then Yamaraj says, "You chant Lord Ram's name every day. Can you give the benefit of you chanting Ram's name once early in the morning? Just one mantra. If you give that benefit to all these souls, what to speak of stopping the punishment? Right in front of your own eyes, you will see them getting liberated and going to Vaikuntha. Are you ready to part away from the benediction or benefit you have by chanting Lord Ram's name once?" He has chanted. trillion times in his life. You simply say, I am giving this to them. Then Janak Maharaj says, yes, I don't mind. Let the effect of me chanting Ram's name once go to them. And right in front of his own eyes, everyone go back to spiritual world. Okay, so we should not delay thinking, I will chant when I get old. When we are young or too young to chant. When we are like working too busy to chant. And when you get old or too old to chant, too tired to chant, then when is the right time? There is no right and wrong time, now is the right time. Subhashya Chitra. Okay, so please do, if you go to the table, you can take mala, you can make some nominal donation, whatever you like. Most important thing is to start to chant. Oh, if I take the japa mala, I don't know how to chant. I won't chant every single day. You don't need to chant every single day. Start somewhere. Matajis can chant on all 365 days, irrespective of the bodily condition. Anybody can actually chant. Whether you are vegetarian, non-vegetarian, doesn't matter. You can hold the tulsi mala and you can chant. Whether you brush your teeth. When the devotee taught me, I was like, really? Even without brushing teeth, you can chant? He said, yes. Na kala, na niyama. Rule number 1, there is no rule at all for chanting Lord Ram's name, for chanting Krishna's name. We chant Hare Krishna. So we have this beautiful mantra. So this mantra, there is no rule or regulation. It comes from Kali Santarana Upanishad. So please to take beats, please to participate in our regular satsanga. In this way, we will be able to have our train of life traveling on those two rails in parallel, which is the rail of material beauty as well as the rail of spiritual beauty. Otherwise, there is no monorail in our life, because at some point, whatever material beauty that we do, even in our life, we take retirement. It's not a permanent thing. Permanent thing is only bhakti. Okay? Thank you very much for being such wonderful audience and for your kind attention. Let's chant one Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sri Narsimha Bhagwan ki Jai. Vamana Kshetra Yatra ki Jai. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class. I hope everybody took something out of the class. I took one thing which Prabhuji mentioned, that chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the spiritual insurance, alright, so that we can benefit in our life rather than the insurance where our family members benefit after our death. So keep chanting. Can we have one round of chant for Prabhuji? Fantastic. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Big Hari Bol to the Pujaris and also to the Kirtaniyas. They're the team from the Radha Gopinath Mandir, coming from North Sydney, 50-60 kilometers. And every time they sing, we have this enchanting feeling. So thank you very much, Prabhuji, for coming and doing the Kirtan. So few announcements now. Today's prasadam, this is the important thing. Without the prasadam, we go hungry. So prasadam has been cooked by many devotees today. So I would just like to say a big thank you to everyone. Sevya Radhika Mataji, Daksha Mataji, Neha Mataji, Manju Mataji, Jyoti Kapoor Mataji, Sarupni Kalindi Mataji, Sukanya Radhika Mataji, Madhvi Gopi Mataji, Uma Mataji, Jai Prakash Prabhuji, Sneha Mataji, Ajay Prabhuji, Jyoti Mataji, Shailaja Shikarwar Mataji, Krishna Prabhuji. Also to everybody who bought the bhoga which was offered, big thank you to all. A program like this always needs sponsorship. We have to pay for the whole program, cutlery, books and everything. Today's program has been sponsored by one person, Sanjay Jogia Prabhuji and Daksha Mataji. And today is their granddaughter's Amaya's first birthday. So can we chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra to bless all, please? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you to all who have basically helped. And Prabhuji, sorry, Ghanshyam Prabhuji, can you please come forward and give the gift to Prabhuji, please? Daksha Mataji, Sanjay Prabhuji, please can you come forward? Daksha Mataji, yes. Hari Bol. Just like Prabhuji and Mataji, if you like to sponsor for any of the things, okay, please contact any of us here. This is basically a bhakti up there, so we need seva. And seva can be done by tan, man, dhan, so anything you would like to basically come forward, please let us know. Now, a couple of other announcements. We have seen the kids chanting such a good recitation of the Kavacham, Narsimha Caturdasi. If you want your kids to also come forward, Mataji is there. Please contact Mataji. That's something which we can all do. Moving forward, our next program is on 14th of June. That's not here, that's at Macquarie Field School. So please note it there on the mobile phone or somewhere. 14th of June, we have our next program at the Macquarie Field School, please. If you have given your phone number to, that is correct? Alright. So if you have not given your phone numbers, please give the phone numbers to any of us. We are not going to harass you, it's just basically for the purpose of in case there is anything that needs to be informed, we will basically inform you. Yes, sometimes you will say, oh, why do you need to give my phone? I have to send you know. Also, we are starting our new Bhakti Vich class this week. So in case anybody would like to basically join the Bhakti Vich class, you can contact Mahavasa Prabhuji. Prabhuji is basically starting the class. It's a very good way of basically going into the spiritual knowledge, because as Prabhuji said, we have been learning material knowledge and degrees and all those things. What about the spiritual knowledge? Our parents didn't have the time of the knowledge. Our schools never taught us. Right? So this is the time. Prabhuji is going to basically start the class, and it's free. All you have to do is just basically attend the class and gain the knowledge. Finally, so yes, please give the mobile numbers so that we can basically let you know. Anything I missed? Yeah, I think we are now going to have Aarti now. And so if I can ask everybody to stand up for the Aarti, please. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Jaya Remega
लास्ट